think they're wise. You're
Bambi. On a beautiful spring day, a sweet dear child is born. His mother named him Bambi. His mother protects him and makes sure he learns everything he needs to know to survive the forest. Bambi likes to learn and is very curious. He meets the rabbit Thumper and the skunk Flower. They become good friends and have a lot of fun together. After a few years, Bambi's mother thinks it's time to go into the big meadow with Bambi. It is not safe because people regularly hunt the animals. Here, Bambi meets his father, who is called the Great Prince. It is the oldest and smartest deer in the forest. They live together in a large group of deer. Feline is one of the deer. She's a young girl deer. Bambi and Feline become great friends. But then, hunters enter the forest and the deer have to flee. That was very scary, but luckily it ends well, and the deer find a good hiding place. In winter, Bambi sees snow for the first time and he loves it. Together with his friend Thumper, he enjoys playing on the ice. But in winter, the forest sleeps and there's little food. When Bambi's mother sees grass in an open field, she decides to go there with Bambi. But the hunters are back in the forest, so they have to run for their lives. Run, Bambi, and don't look back, just keep running. Bambi hears his mother yell. A shot rings out, but Bambi doesn't look back. He finds the hiding place again, but he no longer sees his mother. Bambi's father, the Great Prince, says that she was taken by the hunters. From that moment on, the Great Prince takes care of Bambi. Bambi becomes an adult deer. His friends, Thumper and Flower, are also adults now. The wise owl in the forest tells them about the spring jitters. That's when adult males take an interest in the females, says the owl. Well, that wouldn't happen to them, all three say firmly. But the owl was right. Flower started dating a girlfriend not much later, and Thumper also falls in love. Bambi also gets more than usual interest in his friend Feline. But he's not the only one. There's another deer that is interested. This is a very annoying deer, and he even gets so annoying that it turns into a fight between him and Bambi. Fortunately, Bambi manages to chase the deer away. Then, danger threatens the friends again. The hunters are back, and there's a lot of them. The animals flee into the woods, but many are shot at. Feline goes looking for Bambi, but is threatened by hunting dogs. Bambi finds Feline. When he fights with the hounds, he gets shot in the leg. His father sees it happening and shouts to his son to get up and run. The fire that has been started in the hunter's camp is fanned by the wind, and soon the whole forest is on fire. Bambi manages to escape to a safe place with his father and Feline. The following spring, 2 sweet deer children are born. Feline gave birth to twins. Bambi watches from a high mountain with his father and feels very proud of his new, beautiful family.
You be Moo. You think they're wise. You're Moo.
I tell you, I saw them with my own eyes, said Old White Hen, standing on one foot with her neck outstretched and her bill wide open. One was pink and the other was blue. They were just like any other egg as far as size, but the color, think of it, pink and blue eggs. Whoever could have laid them? Old White Hen looked from one to the other of the group of hens and chickens as they stood around her. Well, I know that I didn't, said Speckled Hen. You needn't look at me, said Brown Hen. I lay large white eggs, and you know it, every one of you. They are the best eggs in the yard, if I do say it. Oh, I would not say that, said White Hen. You seem to forget that the largest egg ever seen in this yard was laid by me, and it was a little on the brown color. White eggs are all well enough, but give me a brown tone for quality." "You never laid such a large egg as that but once," replied Brown Hen, "and everybody thought it was a freak egg, so the least said about it, the better, it seems to me." "It is plain to understand how you feel about that egg," said White Hen, "but it does not help us to find out who laid the blue and pink eggs." "Where did you see them?" asked Speckled Hen. "On the table, by the window of the farmhouse," said Old White Hen. "I flew up on a barrel that stood under the window, and then I stretched my neck and looked in the window, and there on the table, in a little basket, I saw those strange-looking eggs." "Perhaps the master had bought them for some one of us to sit on and hatch out," said Brown Hen. "Well, I, for one, refuse to do it," said White Hen. "I think it would be an insult to put those gaudy things into our nests." "I am sure I will not hatch them," said Speckled Hen. "I would look funny hiking around here with a blue chick and a pink chick beside me, and I a speckled hen. No, I will not mother fancy-colored chicks. The master can find another hen to do that." "You do not think for a minute that I would do such a thing, I hope," said Brown Hen. "I only mentioned the fact that the master might have such an idea, but as for mixing up colors, I guess not. My little yellow darlings shall not be disgraced by a blue and a pink chick running with them." "Perhaps White Hen is color-blind," said Speckled Hen. "The egg she saw may be white after all." "If you doubt my word or my sight, go and look for yourselves," said White Hen, holding her head high. "You will find a blue and a pink egg, just as I told you." Off ran Speckled Hen and Brown Hen, followed by many others and all the chicks in the yard. One after another, they flew to the top of the barrel and looked in the window at the eggs White Hen had told them of. It was all too true. The eggs were blue and pink. "Beep, beep, beep, beep. We want to see the blue and pink eggs, too," cried the chickens. "We never saw any, and we want to look at them." "Oh, dear, why did I talk before them?" said Brown Hen. "They will not be quiet unless they see, and how in the world shall I get them up to that window?" "Did it ever occur to you not to give them everything they cry for?" said White Hen. "Say no once in a while. It will save you a lot of trouble." "I cannot bear to deny the little darlings anything," said Brown Hen, clucking her little brood and trying to quiet them. "Well, you better begin now, for this is one of the things you will not be able to do," said White Hen, strutting over to the doghouse to tell the story of the blue and pink eggs to Towser. "Wouldn't it be just too awful if the master puts those eggs in one of our nests?" asked White Hen, when she had finished her story. "Oh," laughed Towser, "that is a good joke on you. Don't know your own eggs when you see them." "Don't tell me I laid those fancy-colored eggs," said White Hen, looking around to see if any of her companions were within hearing distance. "I know I never did." "But you did," said Towser, laughing again. "I heard the master say to my little mistress, 'If you want eggs to color for Easter, take the ones that White Hen laid. They are not so large as the others, and I cannot sell them so well.' Towser, if you will never mention what you have just told me, I will tell you where I saw a great big bone this morning," said White Hen. "I was saving it for myself. I like to pick at one once in a while, but you shall have it if you promise to keep secret what you just told me." Towser promised, and White Hen showed where it was hidden. A few days after, Brown Hen said, "I wonder when Master is going to bring out those fancy eggs. If he leaves them in the house much longer, no one will be able to hatch them." "Oh, I forgot to tell you that those eggs were not real eggs after all," said White Hen, "but only Easter eggs for the master's little girl to play with. So we had all our worry for nothing." Towser told me, but don't say a word to him, for I did not let on that we were worried, and didn't know they were only make-believe eggs. He thinks he is so wise, you know. It would never do to let him know how we were fooled.
You be moo-moo? You think they wise? You're a moo-moo man!